Let's bring in Caroline Downey, National Review columnist, and Ben Ferguson, host of the Ben Ferguson podcast. You heard John James. He's a very smart guy, energetic guy. My question to you two is just very simple, all right? I'll start with Caroline. How do you beat them? You cannot let the socialists win. If they do, if it even looks like they're going to win, it'll be a tremendous defeat for free enterprise, the Republicans. It'll be a win for socialism.
Well, the antidote to socialism is obviously the opposite economic system, which is capitalism and the free market. And frankly, Larry, I don't think Republicans are really that great at robustly defending why it works at a basic human nature level. What
is wrong with them?
Channeling self-interest. That socialists have just as much self-interest as capitalists do. But it just so happens that we can channel that selfishness voluntarily and morally into free exchange, into bartering, trading, business, economic growth. And that's how we rise all the boats, and that's how we lift low-income people out of poverty. And there's been a bazillion case studies to prove why that is. So that's number one. Number two is we need to show the tragedies of socialism in effect. So they're not really leading with the sweeping communism right off the bat. Obviously, they're not going to seize the means of production right now, Larry. But they're going to do rent control, right? They're going to do government-run grocery stores. So go to the bodega owners who have been priced out, who've been crowded out by these government-run stores. Go to those who have suffered under rent control, the landlords that have been made into these boogeymen, even though they've been in the city.
By the way, Mandami just said today or yesterday in some video that it's the renters who really own the apartment houses, not the owners. Well, now, that is communism. That is kind of... Now, Ben Ferguson, you know, John McLaughlin, who's a great pollster, has polled. When you pose it that free market capitalism versus socialism, the free market capitalists win by a lot. But if you don't put it starkly, the way Caroline Downey is, then you're in the middle ground and you let them get away with nonsense like affordability, even though when they had their chance, the inflation rate went up by over 20%, maybe 30% with real estate. You see what I'm saying? But the GOP's got to put its best foot forward, Ben.
Yeah, we've got to get our heads out of our rear end, and we have to talk common sense here. I mean, this is not a hard argument to win, but we have mucked it up for decades by going and trying to fight on their terms. We should talk about the failures of communism. We should talk about the unemployment rate and where it goes. We should ask Americans, do you want a cap on what you can make? Because that is exactly what it's going to be if you are voting or advocating for communism and socialism. We should talk about the private sector disappearing. We should talk about the history and the data behind the history. What was the average median income in a socialist country before they became a socialist country or a communist country? The talking points are there, Larry, but Republicans, for some reason, we always go to the left and we try to fight with them there. No, you have to tell the data and the story and explain that if you don't want to succeed, if you want a cap, if you want to live in community housing, if you want everybody to be the same, look the same, dress the same, shop the same, eat the same food with no individuality, then please vote for communism and socialism.
Here's the thing.
But if we don't do that, they're going to keep winning these races.
Well, one of the things, the Congress, which is Republican, is not helping here. So they're going to leave. They're going to leave, Caroline. They did not do anything to put more money in people's pockets. There's no tax cut reform. There's not even any spending reform. I thought we wanted to shrink the whole corrupt spending, you know, in Washington D.C. They haven't done any. They didn't give us election reform. They're not giving us pro-growth tax reform. They're not giving us spending corruption reform. What then? Therefore, what is their argument? And particularly this affordability. Give them more money to keep in their pocket, more of what they earn. Why not?
That's obvious.
What's wrong?
Young people, the reason why they don't trust our government and they think Congress is feckless, the proof is in the pudding. It's doing absolutely nothing.
One big beautiful bill is okay. How about a follow-up?
Right. I think they should be a lot more aggressive on that, but also explaining in detail to young people who are convinced that they are inheriting an apocalyptic economy. Not true, right? The economy functionally doing just fine, but they are confused that prices are so sticky and stubborn. They thought that inflation coming down meant deflation, which doesn't always correlate, right? So we need to explain to people why are these prices still so high? You know, energy, obviously that has to do with the Iran war and the chokehold in the Strait of Hormuz and all of that. But, you know, deregulation has been a great triumph of this administration. Right. And I think they need to take more victory laps on that. Expanding housing supply is really big.
GOP has to get stuff done. You know, they have the House and they have the Senate. And
they can't even get the SAVE Act.
And I know, they've gone away and they just didn't get the job done. I'm going to have to get out, but it's really tragic. Maybe they'll come back and do something decent. People want to keep more of what they earn. They want more money in their pockets. Those are reasonable. Capitalism can produce when the policies are good. I've been fighting this battle for
keep it simple.
Growth,
keep it simple, just like you described it. Keep it simple.
That's affordability. Growth and
Caroline Downey and Ben Ferguson, we're going to keep it simple. Anyway.